Hello there, I'm Jim Glover, that branding guy for Once a Day Marketing. Today is Strategic Tuesday, and we're starting our third part of the series on the marketing ecosystem, today talking about public relations. In my other two blogs about the marketing ecosystem, I addressed print and audio video. So today we're going to be talking about public relations. And what is public relations? Well, that's where you're generating brand awareness in really a non-traditional paid advertising environment. So the question is, how can you spread the word in a very clever fashion so that people encounter your brand outside of the traditional advertising environment? Can your brand essentially be seen in a different light? One example, for instance, I'm now working with one of my clients, and they actually say they can deliver a well-done, juicy hamburger. And so we're going to be releasing a story about how they have two grills, and one grill is at an extremely high temperature, so it sears the burger on both sides and holds in the juices. Then they take that burger, put it on another grill at a lower temperature, and then they're able to cook the burger well done while the juices are still inside. We think that's a kind of a story that restaurant magazines will want to cover. What I love about public relations is there's just really no limit to where you can share your story. Let's take a look at some of the components ourselves. There's media relations, and that's the traditional route that with public relations. Maybe you can get a story about your brand or your product on the local television news station, or perhaps you can do speaking engagements. That's where you can get out there and be in front of people talking about your product or your brand. Then there's an area called social responsibility. Maybe your company or your brand is doing something to really help out the environment, help out the economy, help out kids. There's ways to tell that story. You also have new media, and that's really exciting. There's so many places using social media where you can share interesting stories about your company. And if they go viral, how great is that if all of a sudden 1 million people take a look inside your brand? And then there's that other side, issues management. There's things that come up. Maybe there's something about your product that is a concern to a particular group of people, so then you can begin telling the stories of why your product really isn't a concern, for instance. So public relations is just about being clever and approaching different audiences with your potential story. The results derived from a PR campaign is often referred to as earned media, because you're not necessarily paying for the coverage, but you are getting coverage nonetheless. There's still the cost of your time devoted towards pushing out the informational campaign, but the earned media that you get might be quite substantial. Now there's something you need to think about. There's no guarantee here. In fact, they may not print your story or cover your story at all, or sometimes they'll take the story in a different direction, 180 degrees away from where you were trying to go. So you have to be a little bit careful about that. But PR is fun. I've always enjoyed it. It's a great sense of accomplishment when you finally see that story out there on television, in a magazine, on the web, and it's enhancing your brand. That concludes Strategic Tuesday. Do your best to join us tomorrow for Action Wednesday. If you need any branding or marketing support, please contact me to discuss an online or face-to-face service engagement. You can always find that information at the end of the video. I'm Jim Glover, that branding guy for Once a Day Marketing, and we'll see you next time.